Congratulations. I'll need you. He's being penned by his brother, who's also in the business. And while they're doing this, I just must say it. To whom much is given, much is required. Thank you. And I remember swearing him in as a firefighter paramedic years ago. Thank you. Sean Richards, from Lieutenant to Deputy Chief. Richard, come on. Come on. That's where you need. All right. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Sean Richards, having been duly appointed to the office of Deputy Fire Chief in and for the Village of University Park, counties of Will and Cook, Illinois, do solemnly swear that I will uphold and support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Deputy Fire Chief according to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Chief Charlie Evans is presenting his first official duty, didn't take long passing this on to your brother. He's being penned by his brother, who's also in the firefighting business, the business of saving lives and protecting our communities in Harvey, Illinois. Thank you.
Just real quick, being the village manager, being a department head before, overseeing the police department, now village manager, I've had the pleasure of working with all of these individuals, and I will tell you these promotions are very well deserved, and I'm confident that this command team will move our public safety and village of University Park forward, and it was my great honor to provide these promotions today, but we're very well-deserving individuals. Thank you.
like to commend I would like to present the last ordinance from 14 to 12. Last ordinance from 14 to 12. Because we took these out.
12, that was what, F2F?
Right, F2A
F2A,
is
14 to 12?
correct.
And what is it? Okay, that's it. All right.
Your mic is on. Mine is on.
All right. Take pictures, have a ball, we understand. Okay, we're going to continue. A third reading on F1B. That'll be the third reading ordinance of the Village of University Park, Cook County, Illinois, establishing a policy for the use of the 90 Center Drive by elected officials of the village. Is there a motion? Moved by Trustee Wilson, second. Second by Trustee. I'm sorry. Roll call.
Trustee Williams.
I'm sorry, discussion. Any, shouldn't we had an ordinance? Any questions, concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Wilson. Aye. Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Both sides.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Nay.
And Mayor Covington.
Aye.
Madam Mayor, that's ordinance 2018-13.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you. F1C, third reading ordinance of the Village of University Park, Cook County, Illinois, establishing a policy for reimbursement of travel, meal, and lodging expenses. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Milton Payton, second. Second by Trustee McMullen. Questions, concerns, comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Wilson. Aye. Trustee Brooks.
Abstain.
Trustee McMullen.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
And Mayor Covington.
Abstain.
Madam Mayor, that's ordinance 2018-14.
Thank you. Okay, first, second, and third reading of Village of University Park, Cook County, Illinois, vacating a portion of the Drop Road adjacent to real property owned by International Brotherhood Electrical Workers Local Union Number 9. Is there a motion? So moved. Moved by Trustee Brooks, second by Trustee Milton Payton. Comments, concerns, questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Wilson. Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
And Mayor Covington.
Aye.
Madam Mayor, that's ordinance 2015-15.
2015?
I'm sorry, 2018-15.
Okay, thank you. F2C, first, second, and third reading, ordinance authorizing the execution of an addendum to ADP workforce for now comprehensive service master services agreements by and between the Village of University Park, Cook County, Illinois, and ADP LLC to extend the renewal term and eliminate the ADP workforce now comprehensive benefit services. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Milton Payton, second. Second by Trustee Brooks. Questions, concerns, comments?
Question.
Yes,
I
sir.
need a little bit more explanation on this. Exactly what are we doing with this one?
You were, yeah, we did this.
No, this was not discussed. This is. So, in reviewing the village's contractual agreement, in 2016, The manager at that time entered into an agreement with ADP in regards to various services that did not have the board's approval. And based on looking at the contractual agreement, looking at the services, there were services that the village was not utilizing for a period for 18 months, and we were paying for services that we were not utilizing that our insurance provider provides for free. Upon reviewing the contract and contacting ADP, they said in order to cancel it, we would be in breach of contract because the village has been paying this service for 18 months, even though we had not been utilizing it. In order to eliminate the product, ADP requested that we extend their contract for 2 years in order to eliminate the services and not get any early buyout penalty for canceling the service. Now, to be clear, ADP is our current payroll provider.
Right.
So to extend for 2 years is advantageous for the village. It's not something that is not something that the village is going to end up doing anyway. We're just doing it early so we can stop being charged for this one piece that costs about $4,500 a month that we've been paying for and not using.
And this, yeah, is this the one that I questioned you that was about, that we paid $140,000 that we did not use and we're getting it for free now, and it wasn't approved by the board?
That's correct.
Thank you. So, great, so now we'll be able to use that service for free now?
We're still paid for it, but that portion we will not be no longer charged for that we hadn't been using.
Okay, so what's the cost?
The cost for ADP services is a little bit over $120,000, but that's subtracting the $46.50 that we're being charged monthly, so that's deducted from our fees that we've been paying. Now, understand the village has been expending this money and not using the service. The services actually never would have been set up by the village over the last 18 months.
Wow. Okay, well, there it goes. All right, any other questions, concerns, comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Wilson. Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Side.
Trustee Payne.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
And Mayor Cummings.
Aye.
Madam Mayor, that's ordinance 2018-16.
Thank you. Resolution of, I'm sorry, F2D, resolution of the Village of University Park, Cook County, Illinois, authorizing and approving the acquisitions of the asphalt hot box form Monroe Truck Equipment, Inc. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Brooks, second by Trustee McMullen. Questions, concerns, comments? I have a comment, question. Bless you. How soon can we get this, Director?
6 to 8 weeks.
Okay, for sure. Hot box, what's first on the agenda? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, thank you. I just need to do it 6 to 8 weeks. I'm looking for it. All right, roll call. Trustee, oh, I'm sorry, you have a question? Sorry. Here you go. Here's one.
Okay, I have a question. So we get in the hot box. We've driven around to figure out where the major potholes are. Are you gonna make a plan so when people call, they'll know where they are next in the plan, or what day of the month, or what month, what week they will get their potholes fixed? If we're buying a hot box, I think we should make a plan.
Well, just to let you know, we did talk about that. I did give them a copy of the project format. We talked about that, the meeting at the whole. They did say that they had the plan together.
Okay, so that was 2 weeks ago, so that means tomorrow I can get a copy of the plan?
I can answer that. Trustee, thank you for your question. So, first, the hot box, and this is very clear, the hot box is a temporary measure. You have roads that need total reconstruction. The hot box will provide patching of roads that will last through a season based on the machine's usage. It's not going to fill every single pothole in the village. So what we're going to do is survey the village by residential street, as well as going to our industrial park area, looking at potholes that are economically able to be fixed using the hot box machine, and based on that, put out a plan. I will have Director Richardson work out a schedule to do this, and that's dependent on other stuff that we have to deal with in the summertime. But based on that, I think you will get that plan that you're looking for, just like you asked for the trees.
I did, I
So-
was gonna ask again.
Yes. So we're working on both the pothole issue as well as the tree issue in the upcoming summer season, spring and summer season, to answer your question, trustee. I would tell you we have a plan within the next 30 to 45 days. And even with saying that, we may not even have the hot box at that time. But before that hot box is in use, the board will be provided a plan via email in regards to major areas that we will start first, and weather dependent, of course, so they can transmit that information to the residents.
For the hot box and trees.
Hot box and trees. Budget depending trees, budget depending. We can't cut down every single dead tree in University Park.
So I think all we can do is ask for a plan,
Yes.
and depending on the funds, but we gotta start with a plan.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Okay. That's legal? All right. Any others? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Both sides.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
Mayor Cummings. Votes aye. Madam Mayor, that's resolution 2018-12.
12?
Yes, ma'am.
We got 12.
Those were ordinances.
Oh, sorry. That's a resolution. Resolution of the Village University Parkville, Cook County, this is F2E. Resolution of the Village University Parkville, Cook County, Illinois, authorizing the execution of a local public agency agreement by and between the Illinois Department of Transportation and the Village of University Park, and a preliminary engineering service agreed by and between Robinson Engineering, LTD, and the Village of University Park for the Village Parkway multi-use path improvement. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Brooks, second. Second by trustee McMullen. Questions, concerns, comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Wilson. Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
And Mayor Cummings.
Votes aye.
Madam Mayor, that's resolution 2018-13.
Thank you very much. Bills payable. I got it. Bills payable attached to your approval is a listing of the general operating expenses for the Village of University Park and concurred on February 28, 2018 through March 27, 2018. General funds is $225,651.65. Road and Bridge Fund, $9,765.98. Town Center Fund, $737.73. MFT Fund, Motor Fuel Tax Fund, $6,285.52. Payroll Fund, $3,715.40, totaling $246,156.28. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by trustee Milton Payton, second by trustee Curtis McMullen. Questions, concerns, comments?
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, y'all turned off the mic.
Okay, question. So, just to help me, we're looking at the cover sheet here. General fund is $225,651. Are those, is that? Then the road and bridge is $97.65, town center fund. But when I look at the checks that are written, the total of the checks is $246,156. But I don't see a check for payroll fund, unless I'm overlooking it.
You're not going to see checks for those funds. Those are going to be, once the board approves this, these are going to be interfund transfers that are placed into the general fund to fulfill those bills. So road and bridge, town center fund, MFT fund, and pay one fund are all separate bank accounts that the villages has. Once the board approves these expenditures, there will be an interfund transfer from these funds moved over to the general fund to cover these checks. And it'll be tomorrow morning.
So for road and bridge fund, what is the $97.65 for?
I don't have a breakdown of what is coming out of what fund.
Right, and so that's my question. So we're voting tonight for a total of 246, when in actuality, all we see is the details for general funds, which is 225,651.
No, everything you see here,
We don't have it before us.
no, everything that you see here will be coming out of general fund. The amounts that you see, road and bridge, town center fund, MFT fund, and payroll fund, are going to be wire transfers that are done based on reimbursable expenses that are on the bills payable list to go into general fund. General fund furnishes all checks, payments for the village. These other funds do not have checks. So these interfund transfers have to be done in order to the general fund in order to cover these expenses. Now, if you're asking, I think I know where you're going. If you want to now do a breakdown of what checks are coming out of what fund, this will be the first time the board has ever done that in bills payable. If you guys are requesting that going forward, then I can work with the finance department to do that, but this has never been done for several years. We've never broken down exactly the expenditures that are coming out of each fund based on checks.
And I totally agree with that. It probably hasn't ever been done. But to me, if I'm voting on 246, then I should see where the totals 246 come from. And I don't. So we have this checks, it's a list of checks, and it says total checks 58, and it says 246,156. The total checks 58 checks can't total 246 if the total for 246 is part of it is road and bridge, part is town center fund.
Okay,
So I'm just, I know this is the way we've always
but
done
the
it.
paperwork is correct, trustee. The paperwork is correct as written.
So the 58 checks equals 246?
Yes, if you add 225 and you add the rest of those amounts and you look at the total, that equals the same amount on the check register.
Look at the list, it says 58 checks.
But we're looking at the total amount, trustee. The total amount on the cover sheet is 246,156.28. The total amount on the check register is 246,146.28. It matches.
So listen for 1 second, please. We have a list of a total of 58 checks. And that total says 246. We do not have details in these checks for road and bridge and town center fund, motor fuel tax, and payroll. They're not check numbers.
You're not going to be check numbers.
So why is the total included in 58 checks?
They're not check numbers. There will never be check numbers because checks are only cut off the general fund account. So there'll never be check numbers for the other funds. Mayor, Madam Mayor, or trustee, you want to?
And attorney, so while I add this up, it says 58 checks. Checks total 246,000. Do these 58 checks total 246,000?
Yes.
How can they if we don't have a check for these 4 funds?
No. They're wire transfers. They're not checks, they're wire, the other ones are wire transfers. Wire transfers are not shipped. Wire transfers are not shipped. Wires don't. Go ahead.
This thing is 50. I'll show you after we don't see the camera. Go ahead. Thank you.
All right. Any others? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Wilson.
Vote no.
Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Pay the bills, votes aye.
Trustee Payne.
Pay votes aye to pay the bills.
Trustee Brown. Mayor Cummings.
Aye.
I understand what she's saying.
Yes.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand what she's
But right now,
I'm sorry.
saying. It's a wires.
You got one more.
We pay my check, but certain things I buy can come from road and bridge. So to pay the fund, I gotta take it from real county.
okay, motion to approve certification of reimbursable project costs for 300 East Central Avenue dated March 22nd, 2018 by Makila PBJ LLC and authorize village manager to execute the certification as evidence of approval of same. To authorize a reimbursable payment for the 300 East Central Avenue redevelopment agreement to the Malachi guess it's name PDJ LLC, in the amount of $1,249,903.19 related to the 215 levy, 216 collection year. Mayor, motion? Yes, sir.
I'd like to table this to executive session and then come out of executive session and vote on it.
Okay, executive session.
Second.
Okay, second by trustee Wilson. Roll call. Going to table this for executive session. Trustee Williams.
Aye.
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen.
Both sides.
Trustee Page.
Both sides.
Trustee Brown.
Aye.
Mayor Cummings. Aye. Okay. Until that, we would like, anyone have any reports?
Yeah, we had finance, we had finance.
Oh, sorry, finance report. I'm going around the reports.
Hey, Gary. I'm too old to be moving this.
Stand right there, brother Ed.
You know, you get the mic. Thank you.
Brother Ed don't need no money.
Hello.
Hello.
Madam Mayor, members of the Board of Trustees, it's good, happy to report that we are rapidly completing the work that we've been doing for the village. So one report is completed, and I will be turning that information over to the mayor and the manager next week after I have a chance to sit down and meet with them and detail the information. With respect to your fund balance, we've been populating that over the last 3 months, and we should complete all of the work by the end of the month, given that we receive a few more documents. The numbers that we came up with several months ago with respect to the TIF dollars is a little less. We thought it was 26 million, it's actually 22,400,000 about. And those are dollars that were transferred to payroll, and a lot of the money was spent without board approval for supplementing your budget, making purchases that that never went before the board. So by the end of this month, we should be through. Keep in mind that we will brief the mayor and the manager and leave it to the mayor and the manager to share that information with the board. And for the citizens that are calling us, we cannot share any information with you. We have a non-disclosure agreement, and we will not violate that. So I'm sure that over the next 30 to 45 days, everyone will have a picture of what's happening. And in another respect, I think your attorneys have done a grand job in saving you some money, looking at your contracts, your redevelopment contracts, and they found several instances where the agreements violated state statutes, and they've been able to turn some of that around. So, do you have any questions for me? Yes.
Is it possible for you to just tell me how far back the TIPs have been transferred and to general funds?
We went back from 2010 forward with the TIPs. We had to do that to make sure that we cleaned up all the little hiccups that happened along the way. So we didn't go back 5 years, we went back to 2010, which was the last year you had a clean audit.
Okay.
And then the same with your fund accounts. In many instances, we went back to 2010. And mostly, we went from, generally we went from 2011 forward. But in many instances, we had to just go back and just reconstruct everything. But it's just about all wrapped up. I gave a list of documents that we need to the manager the other day. Once we get those, we'll have this wrapped up. And so you gave us a year, we took a year, and we did the job.
I want to ask you this. Have you ever seen anything like this? Our books for the past 8, 10 years. Have you ever seen anything?
This is Illinois.
You see a lot. Well, I would like to thank you for that so much, and I truly, I've heard from the other partners of yours, and I cannot apologize enough for the ignorance that you've had to be challenged with. I apologize over and over. So I don't know what to say, but like you've continuously done, just ignore it. And again, I apologize for people who do not know their areas, I guess, of respect. But you just can't go anywhere until I can't go to my payroll area and demand certain things.
Well,
So
I just think
I
everybody was
apologize.
frustrated, and I can understand why everybody was frustrated. When we walked in here, it was just a mess.
Right,
A complete
exactly.
mess, but that's changed now,
Yes,
and I hopefully you'll find a path forward.
yes,
after
we will. And we can start planning for the village. Thank you so much. Okay, any other reports?
I just have a question.
Okay.
Are you providing financial statements to the board? Or what are you providing to them when you say reports? I don't understand.
Your financials have all been done. And so when we go into one of your fund accounts, we actually look at the expenditures, we look at the checks, we look at everything, and then we populate your fund balance system. That is where your reports come from. That's where your financials come from. They don't, they're not individual pieces of paper that's generated. So in the future, if you want a report on expenditures in a certain category, you should be able to go to fund balance, push a button, and pull it down. Okay? So all everything that you've been looking for is there. It's in your fund balance system. They're not manual records. Although we have copies of all the checks, all the invoices, those are the things that we had to look at to reconstruct your financial system. But we have all the documentation to support all of the work we did. But when you go and want to know how much money has been spent for X, you should be able to go to your fund balance system and pull that information. It should not be a manual process.